Endowment fund. Just like the Talmud Torah endowment fund.
Yeah. All right, good morning. Mazel tov to the Kornbluth, Zaidi Kornbluth, Uncle Kornbluth. They had Zaidi Kornbluth had a granddaughter this morning. All right, Zok the Mishnah. We're holding by the Mishnah Daf Mem Gimel Amud Beis.
You didn't bring whiskey? I'm shocked.
There's bad news, by the way. Last night, by the night shir, a bunch of new English guys showed up. Zok the Mishnah. Tinoikes bas yom echad mitama benid. I'm not kidding. Exactly. Tinoikes bas yom echad mitama benida. Says the Mishnah, a newborn child, even 1 day old, has all the halachas of Niddah if she is a Niddah. Basasar yomim mitama beziva. And if she continues on to being 10 days old, so you have 7 days of Niddah, 3 days of Ziva, she becomes a Zava G'dayla, she's a Zava. Tinoik ben yom echad mitama beziva. We have a very easy Amud, a pretty easy daf today. It flies. So the Tinoik ben yom echad mitama beziva. Same halacha applies to a newborn boy. He could also be a Zav, 3 days of Ziva. He becomes a Zav Gomor, 2 days. Umetame bin goyim. The Mishnah says the Lashon Zachar, but it refers also to Nekeva, that babies can get tzaras and be Tamei binega. Umetame bitmei meis. And it can become Tamei through a mace. If somebody else became Tamei with Tumas mace, they become Tamei also. If they're in the oil, they become Tamei. V'zoykik li'ibum. If a boy is born and he is the only surviving brother, and his brother died, so his brother's wife falls to him li'ibum. Now, it's only if he's alive. So again, there's a baby boy who's a day old. On that day that he was born, unfortunately, there was a tragedy. His brother, his only brother who was married, died. So his brother's wife falls to him li'ibum. If that baby came into the world a day later, after he died, there would be no yibum. Ki yeshu achim yachtav. They have to be together at one point. That's what the Mishnah says. Tinoikis bas yom echad, or tinoik ben yom echad. Upoiter min yibum. And if the baby was alive even for 1 moment, 1 day, his mother no longer falls to Yibum. Even though the whole point of Yibum is Lahakim Shem La'achiv, and there is no shame anymore because he died, but he was alive. Ubein Ein Loi. So he patters his mother from Yibum. Umachel Betruma, if his mother is a Yisraelis who married a Kohen, and she has a surviving child, she gets to eat truma after her husband dies. Upoisel minat truma, and if his mother is the daughter of a kohen who married a Yisrael, she can no longer eat truma as long as she has a surviving child. So this ben yom echad ruins it. That's the simple pshat. We're going to see in the Gemara what it really means. V'noichelu manchil, and this baby that's a day old inherits, and he bequeaths, he gives Yerusha to somebody else. The Gemara is going to explain. If you kill a baby that's a day old. But if you kill an unborn child, what's that halacha? You're not chayiv misa. But is it mutter? Is it asur? It's asur. Obviously.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's obvious.
So here, you know what? Turn the page for a second. Look at Tosfos. Turn the page. You said it's obvious. Turn the page. V'yeshloimar, look at the top Tosfos. V'yeshloimar, like 8 lines down. Read it for me. Read the Tosfos. V'yeshloimar. Afagav. Mutar lahargoy, Tosfos says. Anyways, you're allowed to kill a baby, but it seems like it's a mistake in Tosfos.
When you kill the baby, when the baby's killing the mother, maybe, right?
No, that's not what Tosfos says.
You do that.
It's also to kill a baby.
Obviously, it's possible.
Yeah. Okay. But Tosfos says it's mutar, so we have to understand Tosfos.
Tosfos is talking about. Don't just take somebody out of context.
Reb Moshe Feinstein says that Tosfos is a mistake. That what Tosfos meant to say is that you don't get an oynish for it. It's a tol sofer.
That makes more sense.
You're right.
It's
I just
obvious. That's
okay.
That a fetus is not a human being.
Yeah.
Still not allowed to kill it. It's obvious.
The lashon is a little hard because it says mutter.
So don't worry. You'll find a way to make the lashon work.
That's right. Bareyu la'aviv u'li'imoy u'lechol.
Because it's misa, you're killing a baby. You can't
Kal
kill a
v'chomer. Bareyu la'aviv u'li'imoy u'lechol kroivav kechasen shalem. And this baby is considered, Rabbi Isai, this baby is considered like a chasen to his parents. Why? And for what? As the Gemara is going to explain, for Avelus. He's like a chasen going down to the chuppah. Minani mili. How do we know that a niddah applies also to a 1-day-old? The Torah Rabbanon Isha ein li ela Isha. Bas yom echad leniddah minayin. It says Isha, a grown woman. Tamaloyma vi Isha, the extra vav. Bas asar yom leziva minani mili. How do you know that a ziva applies to a newborn? The Torah Rabbanon Isha ein li ela Isha. Again, bas asar yom leziva minayin. Tamaloyma vi Isha. It's another pasuk. Don't get confused. It's not the same V'isha. It's the V'isha by Ziva. So there's an extra vav, and that tells me that even a newborn. Tinok ben yoim echad mino'ani mili, the Torah Rabbanon ish. So what if it says ish? It's emiyut achamiyut el rabbis. Ish comes to exclude. It has to be an adult. But it says ish twice, comes to include even a baby. Matam eloim ish le rabbis ben yoim echad shemitame beziva. The Rebbe Yehuda, Shmuel ben Yoshe B'Yechon ben Beroika oimer einu tzarich. Harei oimer v'azav ezoivit lazochar v'lanekeva. Lazochar kolshu, any zochar in the world, even a baby, ben gadol ben katan. Lanekeva kolshehi, ben gdoilo ben tana. It seems like Rabbi Yochanan ben Beroika is arguing on the other point of the Gemara as well. When the Gemara brought v'isha, says Rabbi Yochanan ben Beroika, I don't need that because it says lanekeva. However, the Gemara doesn't address that point. The Gemara just addresses the Zachar point. What do we do with that pasuk? I don't care about that pasuk because the Torah was just talking. Don't make the yukah from it. The Torah was talking like human beings in the slang, and that's it. There's no point to make drushes from it. A baby has tzaras d'chsiv adam, any person. Adam kol shuhu u'mitame b'tmeimeis. D'chsiv am I going too fast?
No.
Va'al ha'nefoshes asher hoyu sham nefesh kol dahu. Any nefesh that's involved in tumas meis becomes tamei. V'zoygik liyibum d'chsiv ki yeshu achim yachdav. So again, what happened here? There were two brothers. There was a brother who was married. And welcome back, Barak. We missed you. Mazel tov, your sister. Unbelievable. Barak, we didn't know this, but Barak's sister became a Supreme Court justice in New York.
Wow.
Brains in the family. They know she's the one. Anyway, so we have a brother that was married, and the brother who was married had a little baby brother the day he died. And he died without children. So the brother's wife falls to Yibum, to this baby boy. Why? They must be in this world yachtov together for one moment. However, if the baby was born a day after the brother died, it's not yachtov anymore, and the woman does not fall to Yibum, to this boy. And a baby boy who is a day old, or any child who's a day old, makes his mother no longer Yavama. And therefore, even if he dies immediately, he had a child, and Memela, there's no Yibum.
What happens if she's pregnant?
You wait, yeah.
Butter or not butter?
Not at that second, no. That's exactly, time out. That's exactly what the Mishnah is saying. That it has to be a ben yoim echad. That's what the Mishnah is saying. The difference between yoim echad and not alive.
So if she was pregnant, while the husband died,
Right.
She still needs Yibum. She would still be Yibum.
If it doesn't exist, if the baby never happened.
Let's say 5 days after the baby's born.
Yeah.
The
So she has to wait. That's what we're saying. She has to wait.
Until he's born. What if she
Right. She's zakuk liyibum right this second until the baby's born. You wait. If she has a baby, then not. Then she's out.
If she's pregnant when her husband dies.
Yeah.
And when the husband dies, right? So then she have to wait.
Yeah, she has to wait until something happens. And if the kid is born, then she's potter. If the kid is not born, then not.
It wasn't Yachtov.
No. Yachtov is the yavam. We're talking about ptur yibum.
When it says
Yeah.
so that's when he dies. In other words, but if she's pregnant, that's not considered a
Right. Umacha betruma. The Mishnah says that if the mother was a daughter of a Yisrael and she married a kohen, this woman eats truma. Now, if she has a child from the kohen, she also eats truma. It says in the pasuk. Here's the pasuk. What's the Torah telling us? That if you have slaves, they eat truma. So what does that have to do with us? Our sugya. Says the Gemara, because you read this word yoichlu, they shall eat, the davadim, yachilu. That a son causes his mother to eat. Chaim turns away, doesn't like these kind of drushes. Huh? Yachilu, heim yachilu. Because that it's a drasha. It's a drasha. No. If you have an eved can't be machal a mother. The word is on the child. That even if you're a day old, you have the ability to cause your mother to eat truma. But if you're not born yet, you don't have that ability. The other case of the Mishnah is a bas kohen. You have a daughter of a kohen who ate truma until she got married. She gets married to a lowly Yisrael guy. She stops eating truma. Now, if she has a child from him, says the Mishnah, she still doesn't eat truma because she has a child of Yisrael. Even though she's a bas kohen, she doesn't go back to her father's house. Because it says in the pasuk, what? Yeah, after the husband dies. Obviously after it says in the pasuk, v'zera ein lo. She doesn't have a child. Omer Achmana. V'yislo. Ask the Gemara, my irya zera. Why does the Mishnah say that she has a tinoik ben yoyim echad afilu uber nami? Even if she's pregnant, the chsiv, you have to see the whole pasuk. The pasuk says, v'shava el beis avia kinurel. She goes back to her father's house like she was when she was younger. Like her body was, in the same state, whatever her body was before, if she could have that same state, she goes back. Prat limu beres, hold on, Mr. Feder. Prat limu beres, a woman who is pregnant is not in the same state. She's in a pregnant state, so she's not kinurel. Therefore, she cannot eat truma anymore. So why are you telling me that this baby is born and it's day old, even if the baby's not born, she's not kinurel? So we have two psukim. We have kinurel and we have zereila. Tzrichi, you need both. Because Rachmana v'zerein lo, mishum demikara chad gufa v'hashta trei gufei. That makes sense because now she has a child. So she started out with one guf and now she's two. Aval hacha demikara chad gufa v'hashta chad gufa emotecho. At the end of the day, she doesn't have a child, so maybe she could still eat. Because Rachmana kinurel. That's great. But once the Torah, listen to this, once the Torah says kinurel, that a woman who is pregnant can no longer eat, what's the Havamid to say that if she already had a child, she could eat? The answer is Pashat. Because Rachmana kinurel, mishum demikor gufa sriko v'ashta gufa malya. Kinurel means literally like the way she left. Before she had an empty stomach, and now she has a full stomach, so it's not the same body. Who cares that she has a child? Her body is the same exact as when it left. Kinurel. The fact that she has different children or whatever doesn't change her body. Maybe she should eat. Tzricha, what? Tzricha. But she is the same person. Minus a little. They say that every child, she loses a little bit memory. That's B'lashon Nekiya, I think. Yeah, that's a nice way of memory.
Every birth.
Memory.
Memory.
Yeah.
Memory.
Well, that's what we're saying. It's B'lashon Nekiya. There's a lot of women watching.
It's okay, they won't remember. It's fine.
No, they like to use it as an excuse. We were married when we married. We were 100% normal. It's the children. Elamas nisin kroi. So the Gemara. Kroi tarutz. You just answered the psukim why we need two psukim, but the baya is, what about the Mishnah? So why does the Mishnah say that she had a child that's a day old? The Mishnah should have said that once she's pregnant, she's also to eat truma. Elamas nisin ma'iri b'yem echad. Afilu ubanami. Omer Rav Sheshes. We're talking about a specific case of a kohen that has two women. One is a legal wife and one is a illegal wife. He was not allowed to marry the grusha. So what happens when he marries a grusha and he has a child with her? The child is a chalal. He has children from the legal wife, the kosher wife. And he has at least one child, a chalal, from, or no, this is the only child. Let's say this is the only child from the chalal, the only chalal. Now, what happens is the poisel ba'abdi ovim lecha truma. Amazing concept. A chalal cannot own his father's slaves and give them truma. If the father, the kohen, only had one son called a chalal, and he inherited these slaves, they don't eat truma because he's a chalal. Now, if there's a chalal in the whole mix of things, he ruins it for all his brothers. All his brothers, the kohanim that are kosher, their slaves can't eat truma. Why? Because there's a chalal that owns part of their slave. So they can't eat truma. Says the Mishnah that if there's a baby, what? No, because Yerusha goes to everybody.
He gives up his share. And then
Once, as by the Misa, he owns everything. What happens afterwards, it's not Negeh. There's a chalal that owned it. What? What?
They split it up, and each one has his own, so then they could.
I think I learned it, and I forgot what I learned this morning. I'm not sure that that's correct. Are you right? I remember. I read it. I forgot what the outcome. I think that even if there was a chalukah, I don't know. Look it up. Tell me what it says. I forgot. Sorry.
Although it's an illegal wife,
Yeah.
it's a proper
It's a what?
Although it's an illegal wife,
Yeah.
you're not allowed to marry her, but the condition is total. That means he filled
There's a good Yerusha there, but they're asking what happens once they split the Yerusha, does it go back? I think not, but I might be mistaken. Menachem says not. Anyways, listen to this. Rabbi Yossi, if you came just for this halacha today, so how would you read this Gemara? Rabbi Yossi says, Uber nami poisel. Listen to this chiddush, Rabbi Yossi. If you didn't come to today's shir, you'd probably read the Gemara like this. Rabbi Yossi holds that the baby, the uber, the fetus, also passes. He's also a chalal, and therefore he passes his brothers. Where Chacham say no, a uber doesn't passel, only a live baby that's a day old. Rashi says a tremendous chiddush. Rashi says that any uber passels according to Rabbi Yossi. In other words, not any. If the kohen married a kosher Yisraelis, her fetus is a Yisrael until he's born, according to Rabbi Yossi, because she is a Yisraelis, and once it comes out into the world, then it becomes a kohen. So in Yudro, he's a Yisrael that owns he's like a chalal. He owns part of the slave, and according to Rabbi Yossi, he's able to be zoicha in the slave when he's a fetus still. So two chidushim here. Rabbi Yossi says that a fetus can be zoicha in a slave. But not only that, even a Yisrael kosher is zoicha in a slave, and he ruins it for his brothers, the kohanim. You see? Look in Rashi, you'll see. Well, the Rabbi Yossi, Rashi says, that a fetus is zoicha as a fetus. Says Rashi. Even in Israel, it's not a grusha. Poislan, he's pasels. The Kesova Kozman Shu b'mei zara, zarhu. Amazing chiddush, no? Just for that, it was kedai to come. Zogt the Gemara weiter. Kamash malon ben yormechod in uber loy. This baby has to be born according to Chachamim, and a fetus is not zoicha, and therefore he doesn't ruin it for his brothers. Now a beautiful sugya. Kedai to listen. This is the only not cool. This is the one thing. I have a couple of charts here. Gishmak is stuff. Simple but gishmak. Says the Gemara. Noichel umanchel. A baby inherits and gives it over. Zok Gemara, Noichel miman. What's going on here? Me'aviv, he inherits it from his father. Umanchel man, and who's he giving it over to? La'achiv me'aviv, his paternal brothers. He gave it to the brothers from his father. Ibay mavul lirtei, v'ibay minei lirsei. What's going on here? What is the difference if he inherits it and then gives it to his brothers, or they inherit it directly from the father? Nothing changes. So who cares if he's noichel and manchel? How does he change anything here? What's the difference? What does manchel mean? That he has Yerusha when he's a day old. Okay, I hear the chiddush. He's a day old. Maybe you need to be 5 days old. Whatever the chiddush. But what's the chiddush in manchel? Says the Gemara, Omer Rav Sheshes, noichel benichsei oheim lahanchil echov min av. A tremendous chiddush. Let's say he's the son of Leona Helmsley. You guys know her? She's a word, Chveis.
Good friends.
She's actually my cousin. I'm not kidding. She's related to Pupkos, and I'm a Pupko. What? Not to the dog. She gave to the dog $12 million. So I wrote a letter to the dog 12, to the cousin nothing. What's going on there? $12 million to the dog. Fine. Let's say she was worth $800 million. I've got to look it up. She's worth crazy amounts of money. Everybody in New York hated her. She was on the paper every day. So she's a woman. She actually had money. Her husband died. She yarshened everything. So her son inherits her. Then he dies. He takes everything from her, the $800 million, and gives it to his father's family. So leaves the Helmsley family completely and goes to his stepbrothers from the father's side that are not. Right, the Stefansky mishpacha. Or the dog, whoever it is. He knows what I'm talking about. The grand dog. But it's a tremendous chiddush. This baby is able to move assets from one family to another family. What? That's a dog. That's a dog. Yeah. There's a secret there. You take care of this dog, kach v'kach keser. How does a dog? A dog doesn't need money. It's for the for a buck. All right.
The car crash that there was.
What?
Where there was a parent and a daughter.
Yeah.
Right. So the whole thing was hinged on who died first in the car. Right.
What was this? There was a Ma'aseh Shah you're saying?
Crash of a mother and a daughter. The question is.
Okay. We're going to have that in a second, basically.
The mother's family to the father's family.
V'dafko ben yoim echad. Avadu berloi. How could a baby, you have to be born, you have to be a day old, and then you're able to move the assets from the mother's family to the father's family. My taima do ma'is bereisha. But a fetus in the stomach, when a mother dies together with a fetus, then the fetus dies first. So you're going to ask me, well, wait a minute. We know of cases that women die in childbirth and the baby survives. Yes. Once it's in the process of childbirth, yes. And also if the mother dies not naturally. I believe there's a taisa somewhere I once learned, like if she gets killed, then the baby could survive later on. That's in a car crash. But if the mother dies natural causes, so then the baby dies before her, says the Gemara.
That taisa is not as mistaken.
I think the taisa is actually on here also. He discusses that kind of thing, but not 100%. Zog the Gemara, ve'ena ben yoyer shesimoy. No, so there's ve'ena ben yoyer shesimoy bakever lahanchil echov min av. So therefore, the baby doesn't have the ability because he's dead. If he's dead, then he cannot yarshin, and then his mother dies 10 minutes later. A dead baby can't yarshin his mother and then give it over to his brothers from his fathers, to his stepbrothers. We saw a baby moving around, jolting, like a chicken without a head, after the mother died, so that's an indication that he lived after his mother. There's a concept by a lizard, it's called autotomy, I think it's called, something like that. That a lizard has the ability to detach itself from its tail. It's a physical thing. So if it's chased by a predator, it just leaves its tail behind. Clicks a button, poof, the tail. And the tail moves for 30 minutes. So the predator, let's say a cat is running after a lizard, he's busy with the tail, and the tail's going like this for 30 minutes. So the Gemara, those are reflexes. That's not real. The tail doesn't have a brain, doesn't have anything. So reflexes of this baby mean nothing to us, and in fact the mother died before, the baby died before the mother. Oh, and now comes Gishmak. Listen to this, Rabbi say. Mar bereder Rav Yosef mishmei the Rav Omar loymar shemema'et bechelek bechayra. Valdig. What's going on here? That this baby has the ability to be mema'et bechelek habechayra. Meaning, as follows. If there's a Yerusha of $6,000, how much does the Bechar get if there's just him and one other baby, one other kid? So the Bechar gets 4,000, and the Pasha gets 2,000. He gets 2 chalak. If there's three children, the Bechar and 2 brothers, Chaim, you're missing out here. Put that phone down and listen up. Oh, you're looking up the lizard. You missed the sugya. This is the sugya today. If there's 3 brothers and there's 6,000 Yerusha, so the Bechar gets 3,000. The Pashut, I just said that because the guy from New York, what's the guy that came to visit us, the guy that says the rhymes? There's one, no, what's the guy's name?
That guy from New York.
The rhymer, the guy that says all those shots in a rhyme. No, I can't believe it. He has one rule in a shir, he has 2 huge shiurim in New York, no cell phones. Absolutely, that's the only rule. Anyway, no cell phones for you, Chaim. Everybody else, yes, and Gary, I'm a misupik, because most of the time it's for good stuff. Bechar, 3,000, the Pasha gets 1,500, and the Uber gets 1,500. You see what's going on here? If there's 3 brothers, this Uber guy that lived for 1 day, he gets $1,500. Fine. Now what happens?
It goes back to them.
No, we're talking about it. No, he didn't die yet. I'm saying he didn't die yet. Yeah. I'm going in steps. I'm building up. I'm building up. Step number 1. If the Bechar is alive, he gets 3,000, and 2 brothers are alive. Each one gets 1,500. What happens? Hold on a second, Rabbi.
10 minutes.
What happens if the Uber dies? Mace, right over here.
When?
Afterwards, he inherited it for a day, the 1,500, and then he dies. How much does each brother get? 1 minute, Mr. Feder. Hold your thoughts until after share, please. Mace, each one gets 750. Each one 750. So the Bechar now gets how much? He got 3,000 plus 750 is how much? 3,750. Meaning, because the Uber dies and he left 1,500 Yerusha. You split the 1,500 in half, that's 750 to each. So the Bechar gets 750 and the Pasha gets 750 for a total of, the Bechar gets 3,750, whereas if the Uber wasn't alive, he would get 4,000. So how much? The Pasha gets 2,250. You want to see the math? Okay, so that's that. That's part 1. Part 1 is, you hear Chaim? He's busy. Chaim's going to repeat what he just heard. No? Go.
So the Bechor gets 3,000.
Yeah, go.
I need the chart.
No, go. What happened? No?
No, I was just looking up, and apparently the baby can survive after the mother dies.
Okay, but I want to hear the Bechor. Okay, no. He's not listening to me. Okay, right there. Now, here's step number 2. No, it's not one shot. It's 2 shot. It's the same shot. Now, this is one other step though, very cool step. This is halachas that not everybody knows. What happens if the father dies, leaves a Yerusha, $6,000, and his wife is pregnant, and after he dies, this Uber comes into the world. How much does the Bechar get? The father has $6,000, and he has a Bechar, and he has a Pashut, and he dies. He left $6,000. A day later, a month later, I don't care when, the Uber is born. How much does the Bechar get? Very interesting halacha. The Bechar gets 2,000 right off the bat. 2,000, that's his chelik, and he divides the 4,000 between the 3 brothers. Each brother gets 1,333. Because the Bechor gets what when the father was alive, who did he know? Who did he know? He knew two boys. Two boys. So he gives his Bechor, he gives this double portion to the Bechor. What happens later that a boy is born, that doesn't affect the Bechor. It's an amazing chiddush. You hear this? No. Oh, no, you can't because you. No. But now you divide the 4,000 in three, because now there's three boys that have to divide a Yerusha of 4,000 equally because the father's not around anymore. Before when the father died, there was two boys, only two boys. We don't consider the third boy at all because he's in the stomach.
So you get 4, right? Then you get 5.
So no. So right there, he gets no.
So why would the first one get? Why would the Bechor get?
Why doesn't the Posher get right off the bat?
You have to redo, B'kitzur, you have to redo the Yerusha when the boy is born, but you don't count the portion of Bechorah that he gets. Because that is, he knew him. The old
How
Ulai.
come he didn't get a bigger portion of Bechorah right away?
That is the biggest portion he can possibly get.
What he's saying is,
The second the guy died, he should have gotten
no. What he's saying is like this: when he gets 4,000, right?
Yeah.
2 of it is called Bechorah.
Exactly.
And 2 of it is called Karen, like the Pasha.
Very good.
Later.
That Karen, like the Pasha, goes back into the pot
That's
for
what
the
happened.
third.
Here, look, the way it works, here, just to,
Correct.
I'll explain to you
That has to go back.
no, I'm saying great, I'll explain to you differently. The way it works always, here's how you do it.
Why is the Posher not getting?
Why is the Pasha not getting?
No, he doesn't get any extra. Pasha doesn't get any extra.
So we get extra.
The portion of Bechorah is 2,000. What you do is, if you have two boys, then you view everything that is inherited as 3. You divide everything as 3. So if there's $6,000 and there's 2 boys, you divide it by 3, and the portion of Bechorah is 2,000. So you give that portion to the Bechor. How much are you left with? 4,000. So from 4,000, the Bechor gets 2,000, and the Pasha gets 2,000. 2 days later, Shalom Aleichem, there's a baby, a Mazel Tov, a baby boy. Let's redo not the 2,000, the portion of the Bechorah, but the 4,000 that you divided. That's it. The 2,000 of portion of Bechorah remains by the Bechor. So you take 4,000 and you divide it 3 ways. It comes out that each kid gets 1,333. Great. So how much does the Bechor have right now in his pocket? 3,333. Then the Uber dies. But the Uber died and he was born after the father was alive. So the Uber dies, you take his portion, 1,333, divided by in half is 666. 666 plus 3,133, 399, but it's 666.6 and 133.3, so it's exactly 4,000. So Memela, the Bechor doesn't lose a dime or a pence, whatever you guys call it. I have to start talking English here. He started out with 2,000, and then he split the 4,000 with the brothers, 1,333. So he got 333. He got 3,133. Then the Uber dies. You split that in half. The 1,333 split in half. You add that to the 3,133, and he ends up the Bechor with 4,000. That's what he was supposed to get to begin with, without the Uber. So Memela, what?
It's like he was never born.
It's as if he was never born. So Memela, that's what the Mishnah says. The Mishnah says, Noichlu manchil, only in one case. If the Uber was born for 1 day before the father died, then he inherits and he messes up the Bechor and he makes the Bechor lose $250. But if he was born a day after or a day before, he has 0 effect on the Bechor. The Bechor gets his 4,000 as usual. Gevaldik! You see what I'm saying? That's why you don't go on the phone in these kind of sugyas, Chaim. All right, but whatever. That's why when I told you to go on the phone that day when the baby was crying in the womb, you didn't listen to me. Now you go. Yeah.
It's not such a chiddush that you calculate the Bechorah separately, because it nearly always happens like that.
The what?
The fact that you
5 minutes.
calculate Bechorah separately is not chiddush, because it always happens like that, because Bechorah has got other conditions like you only take from Rosh.
Yeah.
So, for example, if you consider cash in the bank as in the Rosh, so
Yeah.
like a loan,
Yeah.
then he doesn't get Bechorah.
No, cash in the bank is not roy.
Yeah.
Loans are roy. You saying, oh, that the bank owes you money?
Owes you money.
Eh?
A lot of
Okay,
people
fine.
hold that cash in the bank is right.
Really?
Therefore, that
So there's no Yerushas anymore, and now Bismaneinu, according to you.
On that. So you
Because who has money at home? Only jewels and stuff like that, but most people don't carry money at home. Fine.
real estate.
The what? Don't tell my kids that halacha. Or don't tell my
The new law.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to take cash. Cash.
No.
Banks are no longer taking any cash under any circumstances. There's more cash floating around Israel.
In Israel. All right, Zog the Gemara. Should we see this inside? Maybe. Nachamal, ma bereder Rabbi Yisrael Shmei Rava Omar, loy mar shemimayet bechelik bechoira. Like we described, that this newborn, because he yarshins it for a day, and then he redistributes it back to his brothers. I can't hear myself. I mamish can't hear myself. So if he redistributes it to his brothers, then he ruins it for the Bukhar. The Bukhar loses $250 out of the $6,000 case that we said. Rashi brings the same exact case, but he calls it zuhuvim. 6 zuhuvim, and it's 1 1/3. I thought in dollars would be a little easier to understand. If he was born after the father died, and says in the pasuk v'yoldu loy, this is not v'yoldu loy. This is afterwards. He has no effect on the bechor. My time of v'yoldu loy being on besur masnu hachi. This is how they say in Pumpadisa. Bechor shenoy l'achar misas aviv einoy noitel bishnayim. A bechor who was born after his father died. How is it possible on a boy's side that a bechor is born after his father dies? He's born, but he needs another brother. In order to be a bechor, the only way to do it is with twins. Or two women. At least he thought about it for a second. Bechor shenoy l'achar misas aviv einoy noitel bishnayim. I don't know what he says. Rashi says both. And another bishnayim, Mr. Feder, hold on. And another bishnayim, my time of Yakabin on V'holekya. And another bishnayim, my time of Yakabin on V'holekya. He had to know his son in order for his son to be Roi for Bechara. Everything is like what we just said, that a Bechor after his father dies doesn't get to Chalakim, and a Pashut after his father dies is not memayet the chelik habechoiro. And if you kill a baby that's a day old, you're chayiv misa d'chsiv v'ish ki yaka kol nefesh mikol makom. V'areu la'aviv u'li'imay u'chol kroivav kechasen shalom. So it says in the Mishnah. Imagine what's one of the saddest things you ever heard. Like a chasen on the night of his chasen got killed in a car crash. It's a terrible thing. So that's what the Mishnah says. It's like a chasen. This baby boy is like a chasen going into the chuppah. It's a very sad thing. Don't view him as he's only a day old. No, he's like a chasen.
Isn't that loch you have to wait 30 days?
We're going to talk about it right now. This doesn't go like Reb Shimon Gamliel. This doesn't go like Reb Shimon Gamliel. The Omer kol sheshosh leishim yoim ba'adam ein neifel haloisha sofek havet. This is what Mendy was saying, that if you don't wait 30 days, then it's not a neifel. Meaning, if you didn't wait 30 days, it's a suffix neifel. So why do you do avelus? If you know for a fact, and this is nageh l'maisa, maybe not everybody knows this. If you know for a fact that there was a full-term pregnancy, it was a 9-month pregnancy, and the baby was born, and it didn't live for 30 days, it's not a neifel, because it's a full-term pregnancy. The only time we say that a baby is a neifel and it's not considered alive is if it wasn't a full-term pregnancy.
So one day, if it's one day.
Yeah, one day, that's what the Mishnah says. Tinuk b'yom echad. That's exactly. If you know for a fact, and today with ultrasounds, you know, she got into the 10th month, full-term pregnancy, and the baby was born one day, that's not an neifel. You do a full avaya, a full kvura, shiva, the whole thing. When do you not do that? Is if a woman has a neifel, when she's 6 months pregnant, 7 months, it's not a full-term pregnancy, then we say that's a neifel, and it's not a bar kayama, v'chulu v'chulu.
Or the baby's not well.
Says the Mishnah, miskadeshes bebiyah. Once a girl is roy lebiyah, so everything is chal, everything has the halacha, miskadeshes bebiyah. It's interesting that Rashi says here, what does that mean? Imasra aviyah lekach, that her father gave her over lebiyah. V'imbaleh yavam kna, and if a yavam was miyabim her, he's kainer because her biyah is a biyah. V'chayavam aleh mishum eishisish. And there's a chiyuv eishes ish. Says Rashi, im kibul ba'avio kiddushin mizeh, if the father accepted kiddushin with money. The question is, why does Rashi say in one place money, and in the other place bia? And there's a beautiful aruch laner, but I don't think I have time to say it. So if I have time, I'll say it at the end. Umitamo es boila. Another question is that why do you say that she's chayiv mishumei shesish? If in a minute we're going to say that this girl yichayiv on all the arayis. So why does the Mishnah point out shesish? Umitame es boila letame mishkav tachton ke'elyon. Does anybody remember what this means? Umitame es boila letame mishkav tachton ke'elyon. What does ke'elyon mean? Ke'elyon shtel zov. Meaning that if a woman is a niddah and she lays on a bed, she's mitame the bed with avatuma. And the avatuma, the bed, the couch that she sits on, has the power to be mitama odom v'keilu because it's an avatuma. It's the worst tuma, not the worst, but a very strong tuma. The elyon shazav, the clothing of a zav, is only a rishon. So memela, if this person was with a girl, a girl who's 3 years old, so the bia is a bia, and memela he turns into a niddah, that he's now tummy for 7 days, but he's mitama only like a rishon. What if she wasn't 3 years old and he was boil a 2-year-old? What happens then? Now he wasn't with a niddah. He wasn't boil a niddah. He touched a niddah. It's very different. Now he's only tummy for 1 day, because anybody that touches a niddah is tummy for a day. So he touched a niddah. He wasn't boil a niddah. You only become tummy 7 days through bia. Nisas lekoyin, if this 3-year-old married a koyin toichel b'truma for all halachas. Ba'alechon man apsulim, if let's say a mamzer was boiler, psalim and kuhuna, she no longer could eat truma, she can't marry a koyin. Ba'alechon man arayis, mikol arayis hamuris b'toira, all the arayis, a father-in-law, a father, mumasim aliyah, they die. V'hiptura, even if she agreed to do it, she's only 3 years old, she doesn't die. B'achas mikan, kenoisen etzba ba'ayin, the Gemara is going to explain, we had the same phrase yesterday for a different meaning that just like if you keep on poking your eye, it keeps on tearing, so too her besulim will keep on coming back when she's under 3 years old. Tana Rabbanan. Bashali shanim miskadeshes bebiyah dever meir. You only have to be 3 years old. What's the difference? 3 years old and 1 day. What happens in the last day of the 3rd year, her 3rd year? No, in other words, Erev, her 4th birthday. So you say, that according to her mayor, she is considered Mekudeshes, and according to Rabbanan, that you need 3 years, and 1 day she's not Mekudeshes. Completely different pshat. You can have a 2-year-old and 30 days. 30 days is considered an entire year. Mixes Hashana and Kishana. And Memela, the Kedushin is Chal. If you didn't like the 3 years old, then you're certainly not going to like this, that she's only 2 years old and 30 days. Meisi Bashol Ishanim Akasha. Listen to this. This is going to be reverse of what you think initially. Bashol Ishanim Afidu Bash Shtei Shana V'Yir Mechad. 2 years old in 1 day. Who's this Akasha on? What? Why? It says, no, this is a Kasha Rabbi Yochanan. It says 2 years and 30 days. Over here it says 2 years and 1 day. The Gemara says, no, it's not a Kasha Rabbi Yochanan. It's actually a Rayatim. Because the concept is the same. The Mixas Hashana Kekuloi. How many days? That's a different argument. And indeed it's a kasha. So you see the concept that part of the year is a year, even 1 day of the 2nd year, that's a perfect right to Rabbi Yochanan. But a kasha on Rabbi Yochanan says you have to go all the way to 3 years and a day or 3 years. A Guten Shabbos, Motzei Shabbos is 6:30. You will see you then.
The guy is stopping.
Whoever goes to
I have to talk.